Hello, guys and gals, me, Mutahar, and, I don't understand why in 2022, okay, we gotta have, like, fanboys and fangirls of plastic video gaming boxes. Today's video is all about the most first-world problem nonsense I have ever seen. Now, a couple days ago, I made a video where I talked about why I didn't like Microsoft buying out Activision. And I think the crux of the video was I really jumped into the whole idea of monopolies and why super monopolies in video, or really in any field of business, is oftentimes not a good idea. And what really actually spread the goatsy on me, so to speak, what really stretched the anus, if you will, was a few of the comments I read on there. Okay, now normally, I don't really respond to a lot of these kind of comments, but in general, when it comes to fanboyism and fangirls, when it comes to video games, it seems like team sports are like on everyone's mind. Okay, now I don't understand. I never figured it out. Okay, anybody that sits there defending Xbox, defending PlayStation, defending Nintendo, defending ColecoVision, defending anything, how much are y'all getting paid for this? Okay, it's like this is an actual salaried position at companies. Okay, there are places you can apply with a goddamn bachelor's degree and get paid like hundreds of thousands of dollars playing team goddamn sports in a suit with a full package, benefits, golden parachute, and all. And you know what? Every time I go on Reddit, Residera, whatever gaming website I find, there's always people playing goddamn team sports, okay? How dare you talk bad about my Xbox? How dare you talk bad about my PlayStation? How dare you talk bad about Nintendo? Ladies and gentlemen, when I made that video, I one of the comments that absolutely got me was like, look at this Sony pony walk in. And I've had it, okay? I've had it. Every time I talk somewhat critical about any gaming system, if I talk anything bad about PlayStation, look at Muta getting paid by Microsoft. I wish, dude. I wish Phil Spencer was direct depositing something. Muta's critical about Nintendo. I guess he's just a hater. Who's buying a goddamn Switch with Danganronpa on it? Okay, did you do it? No, I bet you didn't, okay? You know what? Hold on, wait a goddamn second, all right? I'm gonna blow your mind. Who bought Japanese Breath of the Wild simply because the expansion was built onto the goddamn cartridge? Not anyone that I can tell you. So you know what? Before anybody says, Muta dislikes gaming, he doesn't enjoy anything, I support gaming when done right, okay? Now, I own all three of these systems. I don't think that was like a missing preconception or anything, and I play them pretty, I would say, equally, okay? I play PlayStation simply because that's where I mostly buy a lot of my multi-platform games, simply because I like to own my physical discs. When I buy a physical disc for the old PlayStation-roo over here, it comes with the 1.0 version in the disc, so I can just stick it in, no need for an internet connection, play the game. Now, I have good internet, but the only reason I do it is for game preservation. When I buy a $70 game these days, I expect to own the software on that disc, so I don't need PlayStation Network to play the title, okay? I buy Mass Effect on a goddamn disc? That's because it comes with two goddamn discs. Discs, count it. 1, 2, install play disc. That way I can have the entire game on a disc. No need to have an internet connection. I mean, it's a single player experience. I expect it to be played entirely solo without the internet anyways. I get it, but Muta, there are patches that make the game better. 99% of games that come out, single player, that aren't connected to the internet through bullshit reasonings, come with a completely playable version on the disc. Yes, the patch makes it better. But in general, the disc is fine. Now, I also have an Xbox Series. I use Game Pass a lot. I've been playing a lot of Halo Infinite on it. I've been playing a lot of Forza on it. I might even download some Microsoft Flight Simulator on the old Xbox and fly from Tokyo to China. I don't know. I might do whatever I feel like. But there's a reason why I don't buy discs on the Xbox. It's simply because of the fact that maybe Halo Infinite, one of the most amazing Halo games in recent memory, doesn't even have the complete goddamn build on the disc. But you might be like, but Muta, who needs it? The internet downloads it for you. Maybe it's called game preservation, okay? Maybe that's why I do it, all right? Maybe if you looked at the history of my channel, this is the one thing I champion all the goddamn time. But I'm getting on a tangent over here. When I look back at that video I just made, one of the weirdest things is like discounting my opinion and criticism by just immediately insinuating the fact that I'm a fanboy of something. I have constantly criticized gaming systems and gaming companies for bad, terrible practices. If you want a good example, I've definitely shat on Nintendo for their crappy pricing when it came to N64 games, literal ROMs on their goddamn storefront, their shitty, terrible online service, like most people have. I've definitely shit on the NFT sphere for trying to inject itself into gaming by offering absolutely nothing worth of value. Do you want to know recently I did also shit on PlayStation as well? You want to know why I shat on PlayStation? Because of the C-bomb issue, which as far as I've been able to check has been absolutely rectified. You want to know why? Because there have been a group of people that looked at bullshit, complained about it, rightfully so, and when a gaming megacorp like Sony realizes, yeah, maybe this isn't good for our public image, instead of the complacency 99% of people showcase, that vocal minority got the PlayStation C-bomb issue removed, which means now your PlayStation physical discs will work on an actual PlayStation 4 well after its CMOS battery dies and the PlayStation Network servers die, which if you want to know anything about servers, when servers die, they are dead for good. Halo 3 just died originally a few days ago, okay, several days ago. That's what happens to the internet. Everything on there goes to die if you trust one company to run servers till the end of goddamn time. But Muda, the game's 15 years old. Who's gonna play it anyways? Talk to me about playing Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy VII, bucko. People do play older video games. That's not a valid fucking excuse. And if you think it is, go sip cum. Now then, let's move to the next step, all right? Xbox. You know, I said one critical thing about it. And you know what? I can complain more about PlayStation 5. Why does Sony not have quick resume built in? Why do I gotta wait like 5 minutes to get into a game, whereas on Xbox I can just switch between single-player games, wait 5 goddamn seconds, and play my games? Why can I not go into Final Fantasy 15 and start playing that shit within 10 seconds of clicking the app? I don't know. There are a lot of features Xbox has that I've constantly praised. The fact that I can run emulators on there is an absolutely amazing time. You know, Xbox Series is like, or Xbox One are the only systems right now that allow you to pay $10 and install third-party things like emulators on it. You know, Sony doesn't let you do that. You know, Nintendo doesn't let you do that. I've made videos on this time and time again. I have shown the positives and the negatives of every single one of these things. Yet for some goddamn reason, in the world of console gaming, there exists such a large subset of fanboyism. And don't let me forget about PC fanboys too. Y'all can't stop shutting up about how amazing the PC platform is. It's because it is. Let's not pretend it isn't. But generally, in the world of gaming, it's such a first world problem that I actually find people who are still getting ass mad over something. Look, I'm just against super mega monopolies, and I think most people should be. In general, the older I get, the more I realize that all these three systems are very much similar to one another, okay? If you're looking at PlayStation and Xbox, the only real difference is where your friends play on. And even then, because of crossplay, it really doesn't matter. You know, at the end of the day, the console race should now be considered like whatever you can get your hands on is already blessed enough. Whether it's Series X or PS5, all I want is people to actually sit down and play some awesome games with one another. So when I hear third-party platforms, third-party publishers just getting randomly bought up, and Phil Spencer's going like, we'll honor all our existing agreements, it makes me wonder, you know, is Call of Duty gonna show up to PlayStation from time to time? And before you go, but Muda, Call of Duty is shit. It is. Don't get me wrong. It is 100%. But I don't like it when certain people get left out of the game for just business and business alone. Why is it that people simp for megacorps like Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo, when in reality, neither of these companies give a shit about your existence? You do realize going on the forums and the posts, constantly shitting up YouTube sections about how amazing Phil Spencer is and how much you want to taste him in your mouth does not actually make him think that you're real and make you believe and actually care about you. At the end of the day, all these three mega companies give no shits about the actual consumer. They care about increasing market cap, market share, and that's pretty much all it comes down to. You are nothing but a number to these companies, and that's why it's unhealthy for you to constantly be simping for them. I get it. We all grew up with gaming, okay? We all grew up with one company that our parents ended ended up buying into. For me, my parents got me PlayStation, and I know a bunch of the kids around me grew up with Xbox and Nintendo. But then the older I got, the different systems I tried out. I went to Xbox for a little bit, I went to PlayStation, I went to PC, I even touched Nintendo here and there when I had absolutely nothing going on. And one thing I learned about it is no matter what, there's great games to be had everywhere. So why can't we get to a point where we share these games and experiences with each other? At the end of the day, we are just some ordinary gamers, and we are trying to have a good goddamn time. If you're trying to make this a team sports affair, if you're trying to make it so that one system has to be inherently better than the other, you're doing it wrong, okay? The point of these systems competing with each other is ultimately just competition. I want each and every single one of these systems to take the best features from each other and innovate such a good feature that everyone else starts copying them and vice versa. Xbox, for me, does a lot of awesome things. You know, you can't play Red Dead Redemption on a goddamn PlayStation 5 through backwards compatibility because Sony does not care about the PlayStation 3. It's up to us in the PC community to develop emulators like RPCS3 and keep PlayStation alive for generations to come. Xbox, Phil Spencer, does a lot of awesome things, like, hey, I can play Red Dead Redemption on an Xbox, and I can play it on 4K. There's positives and negatives to all these situations. It's good to call out the negatives. You know, if we didn't call out the negatives, Xbox would still be talking about TV at E3 and all these gaming conferences it goes to. Do we want to go back to 2013 Xbox One, where Don Matrick thought watching episodes of Cops was more important than playing Grand Theft Auto? No, we don't want to go to that stage. We don't want to ever touch that. Xbox is amazing simply because every system is amazing simply because we called out bullshit. You know, Xbox is amazing because they actually care about, you know, playing video games now, because the community gave them a whole shit ton of backlash for it. So yes, calling out a company for when they do bad things is totally good, and it should totally be endorsed, because that's what ultimately gets us to push better practices in the industry going forward. And you know what? I will also agree, calling out positives is also good too. That's why I try to do it as much as I can on my channel. Game Pass, when I talk about, you know, running emulators on an Xbox, when I talk about the ability to hack a PlayStation 4 and get like 10 million things out of it that you probably wouldn't have, when I talk about Nintendo Switch hacking, even when I talk about Nintendo Switch in general, you know, in a positive way, it's a good thing to do as well. But I just want to move past this fanboyism nonsense. I know this video, and no matter how many videos anybody makes, you'll never move past it. But to be honest, somebody's got to make a stand, all right? We got to make a stand down for it. If we're going to start this gaming generation off right, we got to start it off at least coming together instead of finding one bullshit reason to tear more gamers apart from other gamers. Whether you play on an Xbox or a PlayStation or a goddamn Nintendo Switch or a ColecoVision or your grandma's pacemaker or her vibrator, come together, because at the end of the day, you are just some ordinary gamer. That being said, I think the G Fuel is wearing off, so I'm going to freebase some more of this shit into my eyeballs and play some video games, okay? That said, this is me, Mutahar, and I don't recommend you consume G Fuel that way. Code SOG, by the way. I am out.